The ocean is vast, terrifying, and mysterious, but sometimes we as humans don't really help with all of the mysteries of the seven seas. From things that have washed ashore to things found at the greatest depths on Earth, we've got a whole bunch of trash to talk about today. You know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and honestly, some of what we are talking about today certainly is treasure, but most of it is trash. Let's dive in, Top 10 fam. The water is warm and smelly as we cover the top 10 mysterious pieces of trash found in the ocean. I'm your host today, Olivia Kosolofski, and let's get right into this list. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have actual trash. This one is on the less mysterious side of today's list and more on the upsetting side, to be completely honest. Humans like to leave their trash everywhere, unfortunately, and that has now seemed to reach even places humans can't really go. I'm talking about the garbage that was found at the deepest point on Earth. Director James Cameron took a venture down to the Challenger Deep, which is located in the Mariana Trench, and here he found none other than a plastic bag and candy wrappers littering the bottom. Nice to be able to make history on such a dive and also have that fun little discovery. This dive took him almost 7 miles below the ocean, which is 5 times longer than the Grand Canyon, just to put things into perspective. In our number 9 spot today, we have a robot hand. On the eerily named Great Kills Park Beach in Staten Island, one autumn day a person was having a nice stroll when they stumbled upon something that had obviously washed up ashore from the ocean. This something turned out to be a lonely robot hand. There was no robot body or any other piece found for that matter, which leaves me with one question. Has anyone seen a handless robot running around? I honestly just don't know what someone was doing with a robot near the ocean, because it seems obvious that those two things don't mix. In our number 8 spot today, we have the Apollo 11 mission engines. Okay, this one isn't exactly trash, but we also aren't about to use it either. We'll call it an artifact. In 2013, off of the coast of Florida, just a casual 14,000 feet under the water, the engines from the Saturn V rocket, which was the rocket used in the Apollo 11 mission that sent Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin into space on the mission to the moon, were found after 43 years. The mission to recover these missing engines was funded by Jeff Bezos, who apparently said that the Apollo 11 mission was what fueled his passion for science and engineering. On the mission, once at an altitude of about 38 miles, the first stage of the spacecraft, including these engines, separated from the craft. The parts are then just considered lost or destroyed for forever, which is why they can be on a list of trash found in the ocean. That was until Mr. Bezos spent his money to find them. In our number 7 spot today, we have a train graveyard. Okay, again, not so much trash, more of an artifact, but this list would not be interesting if I only talked about plastic bags and candy wrappers. Off the coast of New Jersey, about 90 feet under the water, archaeologists found 2 extremely rare and well-preserved steam trains that are from somewhere around the 1850s. While this is an incredible and super cool find, the question remains on how they ended up at the bottom of the ocean. There's no record of the trains either being built or lost for that matter. The best theory as to what may have happened here is that perhaps the trains were being transported by sea when a storm hit, and then maybe the crew was forced to push them overboard to prevent capsizing. I don't know a lot about boats or trains, but that sounds like a pretty reasonable explanation. In our number 6 spot today, we have a giant Lego man. If you stumbled upon an 8-foot tall Lego figurine that had been washed ashore by the ocean tides, you'd probably have a couple of questions. Right? Well, what if people in the Netherlands, the UK, Florida, and Japan all had that experience? Even weirder, right? Well, a few years ago, that's exactly what happened, but luckily this isn't some ominous message from some sort of scary being, but instead it was the works of an artist called Ego Leonard. The Lego figures are apparently what is referred to as, quote, his thing. Each Lego person has a shirt with the words, quote, no real than you are, written on them. In our number 5 spot today, we have a lot of rubber ducks. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like literally thousands being washed up onto the shores in Hawaii, Alaska, South America, Australia, Scotland, and sometimes not even washing ashore at all, just simply being found floating out at sea. Colloquially known as the friendly floaties, it is said that all these rubber ducks all originate back to the same shipping container, and guess what? This shipping container apparently fell overboard on its way from Hong Kong to the United States all the way back in 1998. That's way too long. This crate apparently was carrying 28,000 ducks at the time, so it's no wonder we haven't found them all yet. While this is a horrible case of plastic pollution, scientists have used this disaster to enhance their knowledge and understanding of ocean currents and plastic pollution. So I guess that's one good thing that came out of something terrible. Sometimes you have to make lemonade out of rubber ducks, or however that saying goes. In our number 4 spot today, we have medicinal pills. Somewhere around 2,000 years ago, there was a cargo ship that capsized just off of the coast of what is now Italy. Fast forward a bunch of years to just a few decades ago, and the wreckage of that ship was found and quickly brought up because how exciting. In the searching of the vessel, many fun and exciting things were found, like wine bottles, glass jars, and even medical equipment, but perhaps the most exciting of all of the discoveries was found in a tin vessel. These vessels were found during an x-ray of the ship, and inside the vessels they found tightly sealed medicinal tablets. It is said that after further research, it was determined that these tablets were used as medicinal eye wash. I don't know, that sounds terrible. I also don't know how they figure these things out, but hey, I guess that's why it's not my job. But my job's fun because I still like to know about it. In our number 3 spot today, we have an ancient fishing weir. Okay, I had to look up what a fishing weir is because I did not know, so if you're like me and don't know, a fishing weir is defined by Wikipedia as, quote, an obstruction placed in tidal waters or wholly or partially across a river to direct the passage of or trap fish. Okay, cool. It's a fish trap. So we found an ancient one of those. Nice. This thing was found in 2014 just off of the coast of a Canadian island. It is said that the underwater area where this fishing weir was found dates back to at least 13,000 years ago, which makes it the oldest known weir to man. Researchers believe that it was used by an ancient civilization living on the land to catch salmon, but over time the sea level rose, which submerged the weir too far below the surface, as well as shrunk the land quite a bit. It is so cool that one discovery leads to all of this incredible information about times past on Earth. In our number 2 spot today, we have Trash Island. How can we make a whole video talking about trash found in the ocean without talking about the Trash Island itself? Trash Island is one of man's worst creations, as it quite literally is a massive human pollution just chilling in the ocean. Also known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which makes it sound far too glamorous for the reality of the situation, or the Pacific Trash Vortex. It basically is exactly what it sounds like, as it is a gyre of marine debris. The collection of plastic and other floating trash originates from the Pacific Rim, which includes countries in both North and South America, as well as Asia. The gyre is actually split into 2 areas, the Eastern Garbage Patch, which is between Hawaii and California, and the Western Garbage Patch, which extends from Japan to the Hawaiian Islands. I think the idea that we have to name them, and that there's more than one, might show that we are not necessarily in a great spot with the whole pollution thing. In our number 1 spot today, we have a head. Don't worry, not a real human head, but honestly, still super creepy. This mannequin head washed up on the shore from the ocean for some unsuspecting person to have the fright of their life. This mannequin head is covered in gooseneck barnacles from its time spent at sea, which really adds to the eerie nature of it. This one is quite creepy and definitely would have been terrifying to find, but I think the more I look at it, the more I think it might actually be kind of beautiful in a weird way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Downright terrifying or kind of hauntingly beautiful? Let me know down below in the comments. Alright guys, that has been our little list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video today, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. I've been your host today, Olivia Kosolofski, and I'll see you next time. Bye!